They say forever is a promise meant to last a lifetime, but promises are fragile things. He swore to me, under the stars, that I was his forever. That no one could take my place. I believed him. I gave him my heart. I gave him my future. I never thought my forever would end in betrayal. We were childhood sweethearts. He held my hand through every storm, whispered dreams of the life we'd build together. And when he said, "I'll never leave you," I believed him. My best friend, my sister in all but blood, was always by my side too. She smiled at me, laughed with me, kept secrets only sisters would dare share. I thought she wanted my happiness. But love, when poisoned by envy, turns loyalty into daggers. The day of his proposal should have been my happiest. The restaurant was filled with roses, soft candlelight, and violins. He looked at me with those eyes that once held the universe. And then, he walked past me. He bent down, on one knee. Not before me, but before her. My best friend. My breath left my body. My heart froze. And when she gasped, pretending to be surprised, bitterly her smirk betrayed the truth. They had planned this. Planned it together, while I lived in their lies. When he finally looked at me, his eyes held no love. Only coldness. "You were never the one," he said. "You were just a distraction." Her smile was victory, and in that moment, I lost everything. Nights turned into endless tears. Days blurred into emptiness. Every memory of him now burned like fire against my skin. I had sacrificed my dreams, my career, even pieces of myself, all for a man who traded me away for her. And she paraded him, flaunting her triumph. Perhaps I was never her friend at all. Perhaps I was only her shadow to outshine. The night of their wedding, I couldn't breathe. I stood in the rain outside the chapel, unseen, forgotten. The bells rang. The guests cheered. Inside, he promised her the same, forever, he once gave me. My chest tightened. Darkness swallowed me whole. The last thing I felt was the sting of betrayal. And then, silence. When my eyes opened, sunlight streamed through familiar curtains. The calendar on the wall. It showed a date 2 years earlier. My phone buzzed. A message from him. Softly, eerie, "Good morning, my love. Dinner tonight." I gasped. I was back. Fate had rewound time. This time, I wasn't the naive girl who believed sweet promises. This time, I saw the cracks. The shadows behind their smiles. The hidden glances. I remembered everything. The betrayal, the lies, the pain. But now, I had power. When he kissed my hand and whispered forever, I smiled. But inside, I thought, not this time. When she leaned against my shoulder, pretending to be my loyal friend, I watched her closely, knowing the venom that dripped beneath her mask. This was my second chance. And I would not waste it. Instead of giving my life to him, I gave it back to myself. I chased the career I had abandoned. I found joy in my own reflection. And with every choice, I felt stronger. He noticed. The more I pulled away, the more he chased me. The more I ignored, the more desperate he became. And she grew restless. Her envy sharpened, gnawing at the edges of her mask. I saw the monster she really was, and this time, I was ready. One evening, I overheard them. Not declarations of love, but arguments. His voice, accusing. Hers, pleading. And then I understood. Their affair had not been about love. It had been about power. About control. And in me, they had found the perfect pawn. I wasn't betrayed by chance. I was betrayed by design. When he cornered me, his voice was sharp. "Why are you so distant? You said you loved me." I smiled softly. Yes, I did love you. But love doesn't mean blindness. And when she arrived, her arms snaking around his, I met her eyes directly. "Enjoy what you're stealing, but know this, I am not the same girl anymore. And neither of you will ever break me again." Her smirk faltered, his grip tightened, but I turned and walked away. For the first time, I wasn't running from pain. I was walking toward freedom. But fate is never simple. Days later, he appeared at my door, begging. And she, furious and unhinged, swore she'd destroy me. I closed the door on both of them. But deep inside, I knew this was not the end. Because fate had given me a gift. A second chance. And this time, I wasn't just fighting for love. I was fighting for me. At first, I thought fate gave me a second chance to heal. But no, fate gave me a second chance to punish. This time, I would not be the victim. This time, I would smile at their lies. And sharpen my truth into a weapon. He thought he could win me back with sweet words. She thought she could hide her envy behind laughter. But I knew their every move. Because I had already lived it once. I became the perfect actress. I let him hold my hand, let her braid my hair, and smiled like the naive girl I once was. But behind every smile, I was pulling strings. I whispered doubts into his ear. Subtle, poisonous doubts about her loyalty. I laughed with her late at night, letting slip his confessions of wandering eyes. They trusted me, and in their trust, they began to doubt each other. He grew restless, suspicious. She grew frantic, paranoid. Their once secret alliance fractured under the weight of my whispers. Every glance between them turned sharp. Every word turned into an accusation. And I stood between them. Sweet, innocent, untouchable. The perfect friend, the perfect love, the perfect lie. The night came when he snapped. I know you've betrayed me, he shouted at her. Her tears fell, but I knew they were just as false as her smile. Still, his fury had taken root. And in his rage, he turned to me. You were the one I should have chosen, he whispered. Forgive me, let's start again. But I only smiled, and let him believe I was his salvation. As his lips brushed mine, I whispered. Funny, that's exactly what you once said. But now, it's my turn to choose. His eyes widened, and behind him, she stood in the doorway. Hearing every word, the explosion came fast. Screams, accusations, tears, betrayal. They tore into each other like wolves. And I simply walked away, leaving them bleeding on the battlefield they created. For days, their world crumbled. Their love turned to hatred. Their trust turned to ruin. And all the while, I thrived. This time, I did not sacrifice my dreams. This time, I did not kneel in heartbreak. I rose, and as they drowned in the poison they once gave me, I tasted freedom, sweetened with revenge. He had promised me forever, then chosen my best friend. But fate rewound time, and this time, forever doesn't belong to them. Forever belongs to me, and my revenge.